Michael baby. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Nothing.
Is that your new go-to introduction?
I just really like saying it. I don't know. Did I do it last one?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's kind of your calling card. It's your new thing.
I'll take it. Well, I might be feeling a little saucy because I'm drinking a cocktail on an empty stomach. So
And that's something I really enjoy. I honestly don't drink that much anymore, but this is kind of a nice new thing. Whenever you come over, we have our one cocktail that I make a week, and it's an actual proper cocktail. Just kidding. It's just a gin and tonic, but still, it feels like a cocktail.
no, I'm with you. I hardly ever drink. So if I become an alcoholic because of you, because we've had gin and tonics, you've made mules.
Yeah,
We've had some pineapple rum thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a cocktail guy. I'll take it. I'm not really a beer guy anymore.
Were you always a cocktail guy, or did this? Are you saying I turned you into a cocktail guy?
Well, I've always liked them, but they've always been pricier at the bar, so I just stuck with beer.
Yeah.
So,
Really? I feel like you can get just well stuff, and it's hella cheap.
well, yeah, I used to get like a rum and coke or something,
Yeah.
but if you want a good mixed drink, like
The basic Betty drinks.
if you a vodka cranberry, which,
Vodka soda with a splash of cran.
yeah, but the real good stuff, like a mule, is gonna cost you a couple extra dollars, and then you're gonna drink a couple of those. So at the end of the day, you're paying for a couple extra drinks.
It's the fucking pretentious, like, especially for mules, it's the pretentious fucking cup, like the copper cup. They're paying to just be a fucking asshole, is what it is. To be like, oh, you're drinking a mule, you know? Everyone at the
Also,
bar.
why I don't order it. I just want
You
the
don't-
fucking drink. Put it in a glass cup.
Well, I think it's supposed to help with the flavor. Like it changes.
They tell you that to buy it.
Exactly. I'm convinced that's the case. They're all fucking scumbags. Hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 4. Is this episode 4, Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. We figured out the camera situation. Hopefully there's no lag. I only realized after we uploaded last week's episode that my lips were moving and nothing was coming out of the sound. So hopefully that is fixed. On top of the camera just working. And also, after 2.5 weeks, we are finally on Apple Podcasts. So, I mean,
Subscribe and rate 5 stars.
shameless plugs. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Spotify guy, but you know, it feels
I'm an Apple
good to
guy.
finally be on all of the platforms, though.
Yeah, I think that legitimizes us.
I think so too. I thought we were. I didn't think we were a real podcast because we weren't on Apple Podcasts.
The only thing that there is left to validify us, like we've done it. This is our 4th episode in 4 weeks, so we're doing one a week.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
at what point is this like these guys are podcasters?
And you know what? What feels really good though is people before we kind of went on the air here. I was telling you that people keep messaging me saying like, "I love the podcast, love the podcast." That feels fucking great. Like it feels so good to hear people like actually listen to it and feel like. Granted, you know, even if no one listened to it, I felt like I enjoy doing this with you, like as a friend, like I'm enjoying this. But it feels cool that other people are like, "Oh yeah, I fuck with what they're doing." Like that's dope.
Yeah, I got a lot in the beginning, and then it's kind of tapered off. But I hope those people are still here. So,
That's true. Okay, back to drinks. Yeah, I was always a cocktail guy, but I can't drink like I used to. Like I just can't. The next day, I'm fucking miserable. Like I think back to some of the days where I got like piss drunk, and I'm like, I have no idea how I survived the next day.
oh yeah, let me say this, and it's not a proud thing. I have never I've drank, since what? We were like 15, like
The Amish days.
a lot growing up, right?
Yeah.
I have never been able to hold my alcohol. Like my friends say that I get like white girl wasted off a couple of drinks.
Do you have a day or a night that like sticks out in your head where you're like, oh fuck, like I never want to get to that point again. I don't know how I got to that point. I don't know how I survived past that point.
Yeah, I got one. And this seems to be the one that always comes up. Like there was a time, and I don't remember the whole circumstance. I was with my buddy Jake. We were driving around, and for some reason, we had girls in the car. We were trying to find somewhere to go.
Just like random girls? Did you pay for these girls? Were they there of their
No,
own volition?
we knew them, but
Okay,
like
you
they
knew
weren't
the
really in
girls.
our circle. Like I don't know
Okay.
why we were.
You
with
were
them.
very vague with the girls. I just want to make sure that this was all on the up and up. That's
Yes.
all. Okay.
It's PC podcast. So we were driving around, and for some reason, I couldn't tell. It's a small bottle of Jack Daniels. Like this, I don't know how much this would be.
It's funny is no one can see the table underneath this video, so it's like
Yeah, it's 4 feet high. No, it's I don't know. I mean, it's not a shooter. It's like what's about a little bit less than this?
I don't
I
know.
think like
So it was half of that bottle.
yeah, we'll say half.
Okay.
And I took that to the face for some reason straight, and I never drink liquor straight. We went to Brother Marsh's house, and down the street, my ex used to live, and we were going down there because she said, like, come down and drink with us. Like,
Yeah.
her mom was really fun. So we all went down there. Well, yeah. And we get down there, and I'm fucking pissed drunk at this point. Like, I don't even know how I'm still breathing because I don't drink, and I just drank that much Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
We're playing, like, what's the dance video game?
Dance Dance Revolution.
Something like that.
There's multiple other than Dance Dance
The
Revolution.
revolution part doesn't sound familiar to me. But Dance Dance, I think.
You literally just told the entire world that's listening to this podcast that you were pissed drunk, and you're telling me that it doesn't sound familiar. Well,
Okay.
you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Go ahead, continue.
And we're playing, and I just, at that point, stuff started to get hazy. I remember she had her mom, my ex's mom, had like friends over,
Yeah.
and they were all like kind of having like a girls' night drinking, and my friends told me that like I was like slapping these girls on the ass, and they're like fucking 50, 60 years old while I was playing Dance Dance.
Wait, hold on. You were okay. Stop. Rewind. Just really quick. I'm trying to stay along with everyone else. So you were smacking the random girls in the car that you brought with on the ass, or the
mom's
moms?
friends. And I don't.
Tyler.
They could be lying because I don't remember it at all. But I was that drunk to where it, and they always bring it up. You know, fast forward, like that night ends, and Brother Marsh always brings this up. He was like, "Yeah, it was fucking in the middle of winter, and you can't walk, so I'm dragging you." So on the sidewalk, you don't see like footprints. You see like two lines that are just being dragged the entire length of the street down to his house. And he's like, "Yeah, I just sat you on the couch and hope you lived."
Well, you lived. You're here. I mean, do you ever? I've been at people's houses too, getting drunk, and I feel like there's two different types of parents, right? They're the parents who don't want to be involved. They're like, I know that what you're going to do it, just I don't want to be there. And then there are the parents that are like, all right, fucking, I'm going to hold the funnel as you fucking shotgun this beer. Like, there's two different types of parents. And I always loved, and maybe this is bad, but I always felt like the moms, when I would get drunk with her, always were fucking flirting with me a little bit. Always. Like, not just necessarily me, but any person at the bar or the like the house party. Yeah. I'm like, you're trying to ruin your life right now. Like, I would look at, you know, whoever kid it was. I'm like, are you seeing what your fucking mother is doing right now? Like, this is crazy.
No, and I feel you. I don't know if it's the liquor talking or if it's like,
if this is like their
feeling
deep-rooted
kind of fruity.
fucking
Yeah.
fantasy they've always
you won't
thought
remember
about
this.
Yeah.
Might as well fuck around. And...
Exactly, which is a little rapey, but still, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
No, definitely not.
So is that the moat? Like, is that the by far top 10?
It's my friend's favorite story to tell about me.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, we were in the basement, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was just, like, spitting on myself, like, and I remember I looked up, and Jake just goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then, like, laughed, like, went upstairs and got food. And then,
Oh, man.
yeah, they love telling that story.
That was... I'm just trying to imagine Kyle's a big guy. I mean, Kyle's what? I mean, not super tall, but he's like a brawly guy, right?
Burly.
So I'm just imagining him dragging your ass through like a carcass just through the snow.
Literally.
That must have been a sight to
And
see.
it's a couple blocks that he dragged me, and it's just the whole time you just see the two lines, like just scraping on the snow.
See, that was a much. You can tell that story, and I don't like. I don't think you should be embarrassed about that story. My like drunkest fucking story is just thinking about it still makes me fucking just like feel terrible.
Now you gotta spill the beans.
All right, let's see. Is it St. Patrick's Day now, or like we just missed St. Patrick's Day?
March 14th.
March 14th.
A couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. All right, so it was a few St. Patrick's Days ago. I was at a bar. We were at Brick Bar. Do you know where Brick Bar is?
Yes.
Okay, so I went there with the girl I was dating at the time, right? Rocky. Wasn't going very well, right? We knew that this wasn't going to last. It just so happened that I didn't know but this was going to be the night that it wasn't going to last. So we're at Brick Bar. I'm already like drunk. We went out for her friend's birthday. Now, keep in mind, this kid, I asked him what he wanted for his birthday. I'm like, hey man, what do you want? What do you want to do? He's like, I just want you to go drink for drink with me all night. I was like, fucking bet, like done. Like if that's what you want, I'm all in, like done. He got a bag full of like the single serve shots, like a bunch of different ones. So every time he popped one open, he threw me one, I popped one open. I was like, bet, like we're good. Like I know I'm good. Fast forward to us getting to the bar. Actually, rewind. This girl got mad at me because I couldn't go pick her up because I was already 6 drinks deep with this kid. So like I was already like good. Like I was like, it's fucking birthday day. Let's go.
Right.
So she was already mad. So we ended up getting to Brick Bar, already drinks in. And keep in mind, this girl's already just, I knew she's just a negative Nancy. That was, if anyone doesn't know who I am, I'm a very positive guy. Would you attest to that, Tyler? I'm pretty positive. I'm a pretty positive guy. She was a negative fucking Nancy. So I remember just looking at her in the face and saying, why the fuck are you so miserable? Like just straight to her face. And she was like, wait, what? I was like, you are just miserable. And I remember just leaving the bar. Okay. Now this is bad. So I was pissed drunk. Told my then girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, how fucking miserable she was. Left the bar and just kept drinking. At this point, I was probably, I don't know. I used to do this thing for anyone who like follows me on Instagram or Snapchat where I would count my drinks. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't post anything of the night. I would just post a picture of my drink with the little number so that I would remember the next day how fucking stupid I was.
Right.
I think it got up. I think it got up to like 16 or something, which dead. Anyway, finished drinking. I went into Jim Stakeout. Okay. Literally threw up in a random bench in Jim Stakeout, waiting for the food that I didn't order. Like I was sitting there mad because my food wasn't coming out, only to realize I didn't fucking order any food. Called an Uber. Uber showed up. I didn't get in the car. Got charged $70
Jesus.
for the Uber that I didn't take. Then called another Uber. Got in that Uber. Drove home. Right, or got a ride home. At this point, I'm like, all right, the night's over. Plot twist: I left my keys at the ex's house where we pre-gamed.
Ooh.
So I showed up to my house, pissed drunk at 4 a.m, ringing all the fucking doorbells on my apartment. So there's 3 like apartments in my house, my landlord's and
because you're not going back.
No, I mean I don't even know where the fuck I am at that point. Like I'm grateful I got home. I don't even know how I typed my address in. So I got home, rang all the doorbells. The girl in the apartment next to me, who I only talked to maybe once in passing, she just moved in. Okay, answers the door and is like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm fucking great. Thank you so much for opening the door. Like you are a lifesaver." Walked up the stairs. So there's the main door, and then there's 2 doors to our apartments, right? She goes into her apartment. I still don't have my keys. So I'm just sitting in the hallway, and for no joke, I shit you not, 30 minutes, I was using my finger to try and open my door to my apartment. Like I was thinking, Edward fucking Scissorhands. Literally, I was sitting there for, no joke, had to have been 30 minutes trying to open my key with my hand. And it was just not fucking happening, obviously. Plot twist. It didn't work. So then I literally just passed out on the floor. Woke up 2 hours later to my friend messaging me saying, hey, do you want to go get food? I took another Uber. I shit you not, I spent like $260 in Ubers that night. And half of them I wasn't even in.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, it was the worst. Like, from that point, I like never wanted to drink again. Like it was so bad. So bad.
I think that's worse than my night.
Oh, it's way worse. It's way worse. And it's not even like redeeming because It was just so fucking
You're
terrible.
out money. You're out a girl.
I-
You're out everything.
it was so bad.
I
God
don't.
damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I have like many bad stories. I just know that it is very easy for me to get shit faced.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, oh, put a nipple on it. Were you sipping on that drink? Well, it's like, dude, I'm already fucked up off these 4 Coronas.
See, I know I just told a story about how I got pissed drunk, but like I genuinely don't like it takes a lot to get me drunk. Like I said, that was 15, 16 drinks.
Right.
Like it was a lot and it was back to back. Like not a good idea. I used to when I would go out, I used to carry a not carry, but like pregame, I would get one of the small whiskey glasses or bottles, like the ones behind the counter, and I know that I can drink that entire thing of whiskey before I go out, and like I'm good. Like I'm good for the night. Like I know that that's kind of my limit. But this, when it's a little different when it's in little individual containers.
Right.
It throws you off a bit.
I had a friend in college that we would like pregame before we went downtown or something.
Yeah.
And he would get so obliterated by 9 p.m. that he wouldn't be able to go out. Like that was the party.
Do you think that was just his plan so he didn't have to spend any money?
Maybe. If it was a great plan and I respect him for it. But he would just get sloshed.
Oh, see, but again, even looking back to that day, I mean, this was 3-4 years ago. It was a while ago. I remember waking up the next day. I didn't feel good, but I also a few months ago I went out and had like 4 or 5 drinks, and the next day I was fucking miserable. My body hurt. I like just was fucking so. I'm like there's no way I'm getting that old that like my body just can't function after drinking.
Have you been to the Hofbräu House downtown? That authentic German bar?
What an idiot!
It doesn't sound like it says spells.
No, I've never been to Hofmann House.
Well, we gotta go. It's a real German bar, but you can order like a pitch. It's not even a pitcher. It's a glass, like a mug that is 70 ounces, and it's like $11.
What?
And me and a couple friends went there, and we got like 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. You were gone.
I was gone, and then you wake up in the next morning, you're like, my whole body hurts.
Yeah, it's not a fun feeling.
Like when did this happen?
I don't know.
That I can't take it.
People always say that it's 30, but like I'm not 30 yet. I used
to go out and fucking get wasted and then go open up. Remember when I told you worked at Robo? I would go open Robo at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and work 8-9 hours.
Oh no! I mean, there were days where literally I'd be out until 3:34, and then have to be up at 6 to go literally work a full big boy job, and then I would it would be like a Friday. I'd do it again on Saturday. Like
I don't know when we crossed the line.
I have no idea. I'll tell you what though, everything fucking tastes better when you're drunk. Like drunk food. I don't even care what it is, but I'll tell you what, it's a whole different just taste buds I feel like are activated when I'm pissed drunk.
For sure. Do you have a go-to?
I like pizza, but those honestly, looking back on it, I'm really disappointed that I didn't order food from Jim Steakout. I mean, I would have thrown it up anyway.
Get a nice little stinger.
Oh my god. Oh, so good, man. So good. I'll tell you what though, pizza is usually now is my go-to drunk food. I love fucking pizza when I'm drunk. So good.
I could fuck with some pizza, but only if it's in a slice. I don't fuck with the squares. Squares don't taste good to me.
No, get the fuck out of here. What do you mean they don't taste good?
Triangles.
It's the same pizza.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Triangles taste better.
See, okay, here. Okay, let me ask you. This is a legitimate question, serious question. What is your favorite part of the pizza?
Okay, so there's the crust at the end.
Sure.
And then there's like one bite that has the sauce and the dough.
And the crust. Yep.
Yep, both. That piece
so,
right there.
Why don't you like the squares then? Literally, there are pieces where the entire piece of pizza is that piece. Why do you not like squares?
I don't make the rules. It doesn't taste the same when they're cut like that.
It tastes exactly the same, and
No.
you get the full experience. The fact that you said that you like that style of pizza or that part of the pizza, and then you said you don't like it when it's cut in squares, it invalidates your entire fucking argument. I can't take you seriously right now because you're not using science. Tyler, I'm asking you to use science, and you're not using science.
I don't give a fuck about science.
Yeah.
I fuck with this. I only like triangle pizza, like slices, like New York style slices. I can eat every other pizza, and I'm not picky. Pizza's pizza at the end of the day. But if you're telling me square or slice,
No, I can't. You see, and this is why I asked that specific question. I asked you specifically, and you said that was your favorite part of the pizza, and you picked a New York style where probably 80% of the pizza is not that part of the pizza.
but it's the lead up to it.
Oh, you can't do that. That doesn't mean anything.
Like Elise's, go get a fucking one giant big slice.
Is that spot you took me after we went golfing?
Yep,
That's literally just on the side of the road in like
Yep.
a hut.
that's my spot.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about.
But to me, and maybe I'm different. Pizza is nothing to write home. Like I've never had a pizza was like, Jesus Christ, that was fucking amazing.
No,
like, pizza
yeah.
is pizza to me, and everybody can have their preference. But at the end of the day, it all ranks side by side to me.
Yeah, no, I can get down with that. Have you ever had like deep dish pizza?
Only once or twice.
I wasn't a huge fan. I don't like pizza where you have to use a fork and a knife or you feel like you have to. Like that's
Yeah.
too much for me.
And I don't really feel like I don't want to feel full.
Right?
I hate that feeling.
I'll tell you what, I never feel full when I'm drunk. It's an endless pit of stomach. I swear I could eat an entire pizza. It's fucking like
All this talk about drunk. I have a story about a friend.
Listen, man, a part of me wants to get drunk right now strictly so I can go order a pizza after we fucking finish doing this podcast.
Can I tell the story about my friend?
Go ahead.
So I have a
We
friend.
got plenty of time, T.
He's going into the Navy, right? This was his last good send off. We were gonna do it right. This kid never drinks. I'm talking like I don't drink very often. Like I'm a social drinker. This kid doesn't drink.
Are you talking about Schmadam?
Schmadam.
Okay. I'll tell a story after you tell. Go ahead, continue.
So we go out to the Cherry in Jamestown, right? This dude, I mean, we're loading him up. It's Jaeger bombs. It's Vegas bombs. It's fucking cement mixers. We're doing everything to this kid, and he's getting sloshed fast. You know, you turn around to talk to somebody, you turn around over your left shoulder, and he's taking drinks off the other people's tables, just fucking downing them. I mean, this kid, I honestly...
He's having a mic night. Go ahead.
I don't know how he lived. I've never seen anybody drink more than he did that night. I would have died, which it was funny later going on into this story. So he's hammered, right? This is his last goodbye. Tomorrow he's leaving. We stay there at the end until I don't know what time it closes, like 2 or so.
2, I think it changed.
Yeah. It's fucking pouring down. This dude can't walk. He went to pee outside in the alley, brushed his whole dick up against the fucking cement wall, like falling down it.
He got a dick brush?
He got dick brushed.
Ooh.
He puts his pants back on. I don't even know. Somebody might have had to do it for him. It is pouring. We're like, nobody can drive here, so we call up Marsh.
Yeah.
And it's fucking at this point it's 3:30.
Why is this a reoccurring part of your story of Marsh?
Marsh always shows up. He's like the day saver.
He's the hero of these stories.
And he's like, oh, I'm fucking sleeping. It's fucking 3:30 in the morning. And he's pissed. And it's like, dude, we need you to come get us. It's pouring. We're standing out there. Adam is limp. I mean,
wait, you talking about his dick is limp from being
his whole
brushed on?
body.
Okay, just clarify. I didn't know how
Probably
this
everything.
event. Go ahead, continue. Go ahead.
it's like a dead noodle, and we cannot get his body into the car. We're going head first. We're going ass first. Like you can't. It's not like a squishy thing that you can just force into a car. We couldn't get it in. That's what she said.
What an idiot! Oh, what
So-
a loser! Good.
Continue.
So
Good.
Marsh finally goes, fuck this, gets out of the car and just fucking manhandles him. He's like sitting sideways in the passenger seat. We drive, he's like, where do we take him? Well, does he have his key on him? We can't find any key on him. I don't think he has his phone.
You should have asked him to use his finger key.
Finger key.
Probably would've
Yeah,
worked.
Mike said that works. So we take him home, and we can't find a key, so we're sitting out there, and we're fucking ringing the doorbell fucking 25 times to get his parents to come out. It's fucking 3:30. It is pouring down. Nothing happens. We go back into the truck, and Adam isn't like breathing, and I was getting nervous. I was like, I think
You just killed a guy.
yeah, I think we need to figure out something here because I don't think he's breathing anymore. He hasn't moved in 20 minutes. And Marsh just goes, where do we take the body? Like
Stop
dead
it.
serious.
Stop
Like just
it.
mumbles to himself.
After you guys were just literally seen manhandling, putting a body in a car.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It
that's
was
how bad.
No hesitation. He was like, where do we hide him?
You know, you always watch those documentaries where you know, it goes through like what they did when they murder someone or whatever, and you're like, first, how do they get like literally a dead body or a limp body like in a car or in a whatever? And I'm like, that's such a crazy fucking concept. Like you're a fucking grown adult and you needed to call another grown adult. You know what I mean? It's like, think about how sloppy these people are if they actually do ever kill someone. Like that's a crazy thing.
Oh, for sure.
That's why people get fucking caught. Like that's nuts.
Yeah, if you're
I
not
mean,
in a stable
just-
mind.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine how many people. Granted, it was late, right? But imagine how many people saw you literally trying to shove a fucking like.
Yeah, people were
body.
standing outside like waiting for their rides, and we're just like, if any of you motherfuckers want to give us a hand,
Yeah.
they're like, why not touch a hand? It's fucking raining now. So we're like, I was like, fuck it, we'll take him to my mom's house. We drive to my mom's house. We put we put our shoulders, like two of us, put him into my house.
Yeah.
The second I lay him on the floor, this dude starts convulsing and like throws up like a
Stop
6-foot puddle.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like,
What?
well, my mom's not gonna be happy. So I cleaned it up because I kind of have to.
Yeah. You're just
And
gonna leave
then
it there.
I have a friend that's staying there because he's too drunk too. So there's 4 of us there, or 3 of us there.
Yeah.
I go, you could sleep in my room. I'll go sleep in my mom's room, and we'll just I'll lay the.
Just to clarify, your mom's like not currently.
She's not there, no.
Okay, you're not just gonna go in and like cuddle with your
Nope,
mom.
not
All right,
there.
just
Nobody-
double
nobody's
checking.
there.
Again, I just want to know.
Which is why
what
I brought
the,
it up.
The relationship is. Continue. Go ahead.
So I fucking wrap him around in towels in case he throws up again.
Wait, you wrapped his head up in towels?
Yeah, like enough air to breathe, but like. So.
Like a mummy? You
Yeah,
just
like a
fucking
mummy.
Wrapped his face
Yeah.
in a towel.
Yeah. So, my friend, and it's like 10 minutes later, we're fucking laying there. We're trying to go to sleep. At this point, it's probably like past 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's fucking dead silent. All I hear is like a bang on the floor. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And he's this is the funny part. He's sitting there. He's got his pants around his ankles, and he knocked the thermostat off the wall. And he's like coming towards me, like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. And his fucking dick is fucking flapping just as he's coming towards me.
And it's probably bleeding from the wall.
What? I don't know. And I was like, well, I'm not touching you. Like, the bathroom's right there. And he takes a hard left to my kitchen.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's like a little door that has the furnace in there.
Sure.
Fucking squats on it and just dumps
He took a shit on your furnace?
on my furnace, and it fucking crept all the way down to my kitchen floor. And then he's in there. You know, he is not here. And then, like, as he's done, he just fucking sits down in it and
In the
sleeps there
In the shit?
in the shit
No.
and sleeps there.
No,
And I'm
he
like,
didn't.
I'm making this motherfucker clean that up tomorrow
Oh,
night.
100%. And did he?
He got up and he was like, God, I hope I wasn't too bad last night. I go, dude, get up. He's like, oh, shit, I did that? You guys are fucking with me. Like, no, dude.
Why would we take a shit and make you fucking lay in it,
Yeah.
sleep in it?
He did not want to accept it. And this dude, let me tell you, I had to take him home. Like, he cleaned himself up,
Yeah.
cleaned the kitchen, pine sawed the fucking hardwood floor. The smell in that car when I took him home is unlike anything else I've ever imagined.
Really?
I mean, I had all 4 windows down, the fucking moonroof down, and you could still smell it. It was like
Human
Auschwitz
shit.
in there. I mean,
Oh my
it is.
God.
It was. I'll gag thinking about it. That's how bad it was.
Oh, what's really funny is you're telling me this story, and I didn't know you were going to tell me this story. But were you there the night we were at Taylor Bennett's house? And it was me, Steve, Adam, Nate, and I thought maybe you were there. Maybe not, but Schmadam was there too. I don't know why I'm saying Schmadam. Adam was there.
Okay.
And we were all getting like drunk. We had a fire. We had like the shack that we'd all like drink in, whatever. It was super dope. All I remember is Adam getting so fucking drunk, running around like a fucking like velociraptor. I shit you not, like a fucking dinosaur jumping over the fire. And at one point, his fucking leg, his pant leg got caught on fire, and all of his leg hair like singed off. And like you telling me that story, and then me knowing that that was the instance in my fucking life, I'm like, oh, it totally makes sense. Like everything you just said, I'm like, yeah, I believe it. That totally
He's
makes
such
sense.
a good one. I totally believe any story that anybody has to say about Adam.
Oh, is he still in California?
Well, no. Well, he's in the Middle East right now.
Oh, not the same thing.
Yeah, like the Hormuz Strait or something. I haven't, but he'll be back in a couple months.
Is he trying to go out to? I'll tell you what though. After you tell me that story, I feel so much better about telling my story. Like I feel like I was a choir boy compared to that story with Adam. No one had to wipe shit off of me.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a story that stacks up like that.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
the whole night, it was a movie. It could have been a movie with how ridiculous it was. And I left some stuff out just for the sake of time.
We got plenty of time, man. We got plenty of time. So much time.
No.
Tell you what, though, I feel like we've been doing pretty good as far as the timing of our podcast. Like, we're right around an hour 15. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good time. Anyone that's listening, if you guys have a preference on how long you want these podcasts to be, I mean, for the most part, me and Tyler are just kind of bullshitting, and it's just kind of, we feel like it's going to end. But
That and we had SIM card thing that would only let us go.
yeah, the last time I didn't format the card, we only had about an hour to record a podcast.
I have only been told once or twice by a couple different people, like they wish that it was longer.
Really? They said that they wanted it to be longer?
Just because they drive for work, and they were like, all I do is listen to podcasts, and I like you guys, so make it longer.
That feels good, man. Doesn't that feel good when someone says that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the only thing I don't want is for us to try and make it longer and then have us not have anything to talk about and have it just be
We've tried that before.
Their first podcast, I remember was it our first one or our second one?
Second
Podcast, we got to about the 55-minute mark, and then it was another, maybe we were trying to push it for another 20, 30 minutes. It was so painful.
It was repulsive.
It was so many awkward silences, so many fucking so much jumbling over. It was really bad.
That's what led us to come back on the Wednesday, and now ever since it's been on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's because I think I don't know if we just didn't prepare or what. No, because I thought the first hour was okay, and then we got.
I'm not sure it was so much the first hour. I've kind of blocked it out because I don't want to go back there.
You didn't like that first pot there, that second podcast.
That was garbage.
Yeah.
But to circle back to your thing, my go-to drunk food.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever gave you an answer.
No, you didn't. I mean, I said pizza, but
It's basic, but McDonald's, just a cheeseburger with mac sauce.
So that's what you gave me to make my fucking cholesterol high when I went to the doctor.
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, this was partly my fucking fault. We finished a podcast, and
Which ironically, I think it was that one.
it was that one. Good call. We finished the podcast. It was a shit podcast.
It was a shit podcast.
Shit podcast, and I had blood work the next day, and I was supposed to fast. I was like, you know what? Whatever.
They said 9 hours. I got 10.
No, they said you said 8 to 10 hours, and at this point it was like 9, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, we're good. I'm Gucci. So we stopped. You wanted McDonald's, so we went to McDonald's. I got what'd you get? A cheeseburger with mac sauce.
Yeah, a
I
couple
got that
cheeseburgers
too.
with mac sauce.
Next day, I got my blood work done. I got it back like later that day. My fucking cholesterol was through the roof. I was like, oh, there's no way it's this bad. There's no way.
Yeah, my fault.
So I blame you for that. I'll tell you what though, it's so good. Like I know that it's so bad for you, like so bad. Like they say the meat's like they wouldn't feed it to other animals, but it's so good. There's something about it that's just fucking great.
And I don't know how to explain it. McDonald's, when you're drunk, it tastes the best. See, when you have it when you're sober, it's like good for the first 2 minutes, like the first couple bites. And
Yep.
then, but I don't even think you can finish
You regret it. Yeah.
I don't even think you can finish it without regretting it.
Mm-hmm. It's like the first 2 bites are fantastic. The last 2 bites are fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. But I think that when you're drunk, anything's like that. Like there's no regret
for
until
sure.
there's no regret until like the next morning is when you feel the regret. When you feel the fucking lump in your stomach and the fucking shit oozing out of your ass. Like it's not good. Unless
When I at UB, there used to be like a food truck that would sit up by UB South Campus, like right on Main Street by Windspear, like right where the frat houses were. And they used to sell food out of that. You could get like garbage plates. And I don't know anywhere else in Buffalo that does. I don't even think they
garbage
do it
plates
anymore.
or
Like at that
Food
late
truck.
at night?
Oh, well, I know Lloyd used to do a they used to have their food truck on Allen, like right next to the
Ooh,
Pink.
okay.
But I don't. I'm sure other places do. I mean, that would make sense, right?
I would think so. I mean, those are banging. That might be the ultimate drunk food.
Garbage plate?
Garbage plate.
Ooh, dude. So I gained so much fucking weight when I was in barber school because we had a garbage plate Monday. Every Monday we'd go and get a garbage plate. Terrible decision. But that's another one when the first 2 bites are fantastic, and then by the end of it, you're like, this is who puts this together? But then you do it the next week, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. The funny thing with garbage plates is there's so much food.
So much food.
And that's the problem. Like, it's like real food,
Yeah.
but there's so much of it that you just eat it all.
And it's almost not that it doesn't go together, but that's the crazy thing about garbage plates is you can get whatever the fuck you want, right? Like there's like a right garbage plate. It's mac salad, it's home fries, it's whatever meat you want, and it's like a meat sauce, right?
Yes.
Which in its own thing, it's like, why do you need macaroni salad and home fries? It's just a lot of fucking starches,
Or
right?
French,
Yeah,
French
exactly.
fries.
But then I know some people get like crazy things, like they get fucking fish sticks on it. I'm like, you're getting fish sticks on top of your meat, on top of your fucking mac salad, like with your giant spicy meat sauce, like.
Now, I've
What's
never
going on?
actually been high. So when you're
Ooh.
high and have the munchies,
We're talking about that later. It's legal in New York now, man. There's no reason for you not to get high.
when you're high and you have the munchies,
Sure.
compare that to when you're drunk. Like,
Okay, this is just me here.
okay.
When I am high and I have the munchies, it's like compulsion, like I need to eat.
But does stuff taste better or not as good?
It tastes different. It's so hard to explain. So when I'm high, I feel like I can taste every little part of the food, right? So I'll eat something salty, I'll eat something crunchy. It's like I can taste the salty, I can taste the crunch. It's like I taste individually. I can get more is it macro?
Micro.
When I'm drunk, I just know I need to put something in my fucking mouth and it's going to taste just good. Just the
No matter
feeling
what
is
it
good.
is.
The feeling is good. It's just like, oh man, like it makes my stomach feel great. But when I'm high, it's like a more it's so hard to explain. It's like it's like I'm looking under at a telescope and microscope, and I fucking taste every little part of it. Is if that makes sense.
So
It's like a compulsion too.
I guess my question is, when you're drunk, everything tastes good,
Sure.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's just as soon as it
When
touches
you're
your lips.
high, and what is something you don't like?
Oh, that I don't like. I don't like spicy food when I'm high.
Give me like an actual one piece of food.
So I really like spicy. Wow, what are they fucking called? Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos.
Okay.
Love flaming hot Cheetos. One time I got super high and ate flaming hot Cheetos, and it was just. It's like the spice was so elevated, like I was fucking miserable. It's like all I could focus on
Okay.
when I was smoking or like when I was high was that spice when I was eating it, and it was
Okay.
it was miserable for
So
like
you
10
could
minutes.
still. It's not like drunk where everything tastes good. You still have
Yeah.
your full range of scents.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And then I like went and brushed my teeth right after, and then that felt super fucking weird too. I tell you, one day for the podcast, we should just like get you high, and then
Join the club. You know how many people want to
that
get
would
me
be
high?
such a fun podcast.
I have. It's probably hundreds now of people that want to be there when I get high for the first time.
I'll tell you what though, I think we were going to talk about weed later, but we can talk about it now, I guess. I don't like the people who say that weed isn't like a drug, right? They're like, no, it's a medicine and it's whatever. It's like there are times when I get like super fucking high, and I forget how to move my fucking legs. Like I just sit there, like if I eat an edible, like it's like I have to remind myself how to fucking breathe. Right? Like that's a drug. But I hate when people are like, yo, yeah, it's just, it's no big deal. I'm like, there are definitely some people that I know that should never fucking smoke or eat an edible because their brain is just not gonna,
I've also been told that about me. Like, I don't know, because I'm such a lightweight that I would have to start like so small with the pot.
Well, that's anything. It's like
Like 5 milligrams or
no,
something.
I would. There's no way I would start with like an edible, like because
Is that
that's
only edibles?
Well, for like milligrams, a lot of it, yeah. That's how
Or
you
I didn't know
usually
if that
dose
was
it.
the THC.
So
in the
if
blue
I
one.
was, if I was, no, if I was,
I don't know anything.
if we were to sit down, we're like, all right, Tyler, I'm gonna get you high. I would literally just give you like, I would probably take my pen, like my like dab pen or whatever. I'd give you like one hit, like one, and I would make sure, I'd almost want to like get a fucking pack of cigarettes, so I would make sure you know how to inhale. Because you said you tried smoking once, right? And you said you didn't get high.
Yes.
And
In
when
this-
I tell people, go ahead, continue. You go first. And then we'll-
Okay. Well, yes, that's true, and it's embarrassing to say because I sound like a retard when I do it. Like I went to San Diego, and like the second thing we did was go to a dispensary,
Yep.
and we bought so much shit, and we ended up giving it to the fucking our neighbors because we couldn't smoke it all. We bought that much, but we got there, and we brought it back, and we started smoking, and I was going like, and like I would hold it in, and then I would like kind of I would swallow the smoke,
Like French inhale, yeah.
trying to inhale,
Mm-hmm.
but I think my body is just like so. We're not inhaling. Like
We don't do that here.
yeah, the wrong valve, you know. And like I kept smoking. I go, dude, my body's just too strong because like 20 minutes has gone by.
That's your first thought process.
Yeah.
Is like my body just
Yeah.
can
need to give
handle
me
this.
you need to give me 2 or something. I'll go like this. Like I just wasn't getting high, and everybody else was fucking. Hey man, you know.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is most people who have never smoked before, and I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just gonna sit here like I just I partake. But most people who have never smoked before just never inhaled anything. They never smoked cigarettes. They've never inhaled anything into their body. So the first time they do it, it's like they put it in their mouth and then spit it out.
Yeah.
So we'd have to get that figured out first.
Yeah, I've never purposely inhaled.
Yeah.
Like obviously accidentally. Like I like cigars a lot.
Sure.
And I've accidentally inhaled those and you cough up a lung.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never done it on purpose.
Yeah, I would just give you like one hit. Like one hit, maybe 2 if it's a pen. But if you're just like smoking like a joint or whatever, just one hit. One hit, and I feel like you'll be just, for your first time, it'll be an experience.
join the club. Everybody wants to get me high.
Which is really interesting though, because I couldn't tell you the first time I ever smoked. It was it was a while ago, but it's a weird experience, especially for someone because it's not like being drunk. Maybe once you're like really drunk and you kind of like, it's so bad. I don't want to say like lose bodily, but like the first time you smoke can be quite an experience. Like you feel tingly, like sometimes you feel like paralyzed. You like feel like you get really hot.
Yeah.
Like but a lot of that's, I feel like, just not in your head, but you're just like, okay, something's happening to me, and you like focus on all of that instead of focusing on just relaxing. I don't know. Again, it's been a while since the first time I fucking done it.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I'm sure. But I'm also, it's not like I'm a clean freak where I watch every single thing that goes into my body
Sure.
because I eat a lot of shit food.
Yeah, you have the little the love pouch.
The
kangaroo pouch.
fupa. But that being said, like anything else, like alcohol is considerably in moderation. It's socially on every occasion, like at an event. I don't even pop Advil when I have a headache. Like if I pop 2 Advil, I probably get a little loopy. That might be the edible you guys want.
I think you just don't know. No, that's not how that works.
But I'm saying
I think you have an adverse reaction to Advil if that's what's happening to you.
But I'm just trying to make
it
a
was
point.
a joke. I got it.
Because I don't really take shit. Like I have to be on my deathbed before I fucking take some NyQuil.
Why?
I don't like putting any of that shit in me. For whatever reason.
Well, that's when I'll use the. But weed is from the ground. It's natural.
Okay. Okay. I have my problems with the marijuanas.
The marijuanas.
I don't inject the marijuanas.
Well, hopefully we're not injecting anything. That's a fucking no go. It's a no fly zone.
I've only taken like one real drug that was Adderall, and I was up for fucking 3.5 days, and I didn't like it.
See, weed is the only drug, which again, weed is 100% a drug. It's the only drug besides alcohol that I'll like do, and I'm like totally fine with it. I don't need to fucking eat an Adderall. I don't know.
I've only done it once, and it was to try it, and I can see why people are addicted to it.
I feel like I have a sensitive heart. I feel like any of those like stimulants or whatever, is Adderall technically a stimulant?
Yeah, it's an upper.
Yeah, I feel like my heart would just stop working.
It's funny too because I kept going like this, like I had like cotton mouth, like I kept licking inside my lips, like yeah, this dude is fucked up. Because ironically, we went to the strip club that night,
Oh,
and that's what the bouncer kept saying. He was like, "What's he on?"
What candies?
Yes.
Oh, what a place! What a place!
Yeah. I don't. If sometime in my life I will try marijuana.
Next week for the podcast, you heard it here first.
Okay, you have to peer pressure me. But I watched Dare. You can't do it.
I feel like peer pressure doesn't exist anymore.
I definitely
Thoughts?
think it exists,
You think it does?
and I think it's way easier than it used to be.
To peer pressure someone?
Yeah.
Really? I feel like it's.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's less difficult to peer pressure someone. Thoughts?
Does
Tell
it-
me why.
Does it matter what it's in?
No,
'Cause
I feel like there was such a movement to like say stop the peer pressure, like think for yourself, like everyone's an individual, blah 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 blah. I feel like now it's just there's so many outlets to do things the correct way that like if someone's like, "Ooh, you're not smoking a cigarette," you can be like, "Well, fuck you." Like, I don't know. Like, am I just making that up, or do you really think it's like that much more difficult, or it's still as difficult?
I think it is way easier to peer pressure people because I don't think people have
Why?
the strength like in the mindset to say no. And everybody wants to be cool and everybody wants to be accepted.
But is that cool anymore? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
If you have
so-
friends that do something
But
like
let
that,
me use like the old '90s movies. You know, it's like they used to say like smoking is cool, doing drugs behind the bleachers is cool. Like I feel like that whole narrative is just not. I almost feel like now it's like cool if you don't fucking do drugs. Like you know what I mean?
kind of why I don't do drugs.
But-
But I guess
I
like
guess that's more where I'm going with it.
okay, 2020 and you have teenagers hanging out in a bedroom and they're smoking the reef, right?
Listen, I've been on TikTok before, and I feel like there's 15-year-olds that are fucking smoking the reef on.
And you got one friend in there who's like, I've never done this before. He's like, dude, don't be a fucking pussy or you got to leave. Like, well, you guys are my friends, so I'll do it.
Well, you just made an ultimatum. You said,
That's peer pressure.
"Oh, you're right. Maybe I'm overthinking it."
I think it's way easier now. I don't. Everybody wants approval. I just think that
But I also feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just me thinking out loud here, everybody. But I feel like a lot of peer pressure was not knowing the answer because it was a lot harder to like search out information. Like when we were fucking 11, 12, 13, we had the internet, but it wasn't the same. Now every fucking 15-year-old is a phone. And if they want to learn anything, if they want to know how to fucking eat ass, they can just look up how to fucking do things. Right?
yeah.
You know
Let
what I
me get the
mean?
tutorial on that.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I
like
get it.
it's so much easier to have information in the palm of your hand that like if some idiot or some fucking kid is like, "Yo, if you don't fucking eat this marijuana cigarette, you're stupid." Someone can look it up and be like, "Actually, that's actually not true." You know what I mean? I guess that's where I'm going with it. Well, there's kids fucking eating ass and everything.
Very valid.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know. Like, or is it like if it's back then you didn't know cigarettes were bad, right? Like when our parents were kids and they're getting peer pressure to smoke cigarettes.
Sure.
And it's like now it's like, well, if I smoke one time, that's not going to do anything. So they'll do it anyways, but is that still peer pressure? If they still do it, but they're just like one time's not going to.
I think that's an informed decision. I think there's a difference. I think that's an informed
If
decision.
somebody pressures you to do it, you don't want to do it, but then you're just like one time.
I get what you're saying. You're saying if someone says, "Here, take a cigarette," and you're like, "Oh, well, it's not going to kill me. I might as well just do it."
Yeah, but
Okay.
you don't want to do it.
You're right. Maybe that is peer pressure. Maybe it is easy. Maybe it never left. Maybe this is my white male privilege that's telling me that peer pressure doesn't exist and it's really there all the time.
I thought I've done edibles one time before.
What do you mean you thought you did it?
I was
That's
at,
the most, really quick, that's not the shittiest thing is to try and slip a fucking edible to someone, especially if they've never done it before.
oh yeah, and I
That's
was
real shitty.
pissed. Want another little story?
Go ahead.
So we were at my buddy's house. This was Jason, and you know Jason.
Did you just say a 50-year-old man is just your buddy?
Did I say 50?
No, I'm just saying he's a 50-year-old man. You're like, yeah, we're at my buddy's house.
Oh, I guess I. He might be 50. I don't know how old he is.
He's at least 50.
I have no idea.
We should call him.
We should call him
That's
sometime.
our next. We'll get you high and have you call Jason.
Okay. But we're out. He's got that back deck,
Yep.
and we're all swimming. I got sunburnt like a bitch, and I was drinking. So I don't think when you drink and you're in the sunburn, I think that elevates stuff. I could be talking out of my ass,
Yeah.
but I think that's true.
Like you could have got like sun poisoning.
But like I was drinking, and I think when you're drinking,
Sure, it dehydrates you.
yes,
Yeah, sure. Go
Yep.
ahead. Yep.
So I'm pretty gone, and we're sitting at the table, right? And I remember this. There was a bag of Little Debbie brownies,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What's good with those brownies?" Like I kept saying it, and they were like, "Dude, you don't want those. Those are like pot brownies." And they kept saying it, or they kept trying to peer pressure me into it. They were like, "Take these brownies. They just got a little pot in them. You'll feel better." And I didn't want to do it. I ended up sleeping on the deck. I covered myself in towels and puked in a salad bowl while everybody else was having fun. Woke up the next morning, thought I did the pot brownies. I didn't talk to any of them. It's like, you guys fucking slipped me edibles when I was drunk. They were like, dude, we didn't fucking do that. But I was so pissed at everybody. Thought they gave me like a whole
thought
bag
they
of.
drugged you?
Yeah.
I always thought that there's like different levels of shitty, and I feel like sliding someone drugs when they don't want them is like the highest level of just being a shit person.
Yeah. And I had friends saying, "Hey, dude, you got so high last night. It was fucking crazy." But they were just
Tim? Was
joshing.
Tim one of them?
No.
Oh, I love Tim's one of these podcasts. I have so many ideas of what I want to do on this podcast, and so many people that I want to bring on. And I'll tell you what, though, positive man. We are 51 minutes into this podcast.
That went fast.
Dude, this camera has not cut out once.
High five.
High five. I'm not exactly sure whether or not the syncing is correct, but we did a test, so hopefully it is. And I think this is the smoothest as far as production quality that this podcast has been, and I feel really good about it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, it feels good, right?
The only thing I have to say is I hope that somebody ate those brownies and didn't throw them out.
Because you feel like you missed out on a solid brownie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, and I hate wasted food. And the bag was open.
Ooh. Wait, so they were actually Little Debbie brand?
Yeah. Well, or Little Bites. It's a white bag.
Like they came out of an actual container?
Like you were packing a kid's little lunchbox.
Those weren't edibles.
But I was so drunk that they kept telling me that they were. So like, I don't want no those brownies, but they're pot brownies. I don't want them.
What's really funny is I feel like I've been around you drunk, and that's exactly how you talk.
Oh, I'm
like
sure
a 50s
it is.
mobster. The brownies, and I wanted to know what is down the brownies.
Yeah, that. I don't like wasted food, so I hope somebody ate those.
Oh, I hope so too. Oh man. Speaking of throwaway food, how much food do you think is thrown away on a daily basis in our country?
I couldn't give you like a metric ton value, but I think a shit ton.
Do you think a shit ton of food gets
In
thrown
America, hell yeah.
away? Like not just because people think they're edibles, like people actually throw away the food.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Whether it's at dinner, whether it's restaurants that don't sell certain stuff, everything. People don't eat everything that's on their plate. I think people throw away a shit ton of food.
There's a gas station on the corner of work that they have like the pizza spinny fucking warmer or whatever. It's like every hour and a half they throw away any pizza that doesn't sell. And I'm like, what a fucking gluttonous country we are where we just like make this food and throw it away.
Yeah.
And then complain that there's fucking people that, can't eat food or like don't have food. They'll eat just rice for $1 a day. Like
Send little Ewa $5 in Ethiopia and you could feed them.
question, is it just because I don't have cable or did they stop making those commercials?
The Sarah McLachlan commercial.
In the arms of
You got to be up late
angel.
night to
Yeah.
watch that.
Is that just when it is at late at night?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just don't have cable anymore, so I don't remember.
I don't
if
either,
they-
but I feel like within the last year, maybe 2 years, I've seen it.
I'm like,
once.
maybe they solved it. Maybe every adoptable child has been adopted, and they just they're like, well, we'll come back when we have more adoptable people.
We're big comedy fans. Are you familiar with Sam Kinison?
Mm-mm.
He's one of the goats. He has the all-time greatest bit about the starving kids in Africa.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you get these commercials and saying, send us money, we need these foods. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, you're the cameraman. You got a fucking sandwich right there. Give it to him. You want to know how we solve fucking world hungry? Move out of the desert. Nothing grows in the desert. Like, we figured it out hundreds of years ago. Move.
Oh,
And I'm not doing it justice, but everybody should
Yeah.
look that up because it's hilarious.
That is. I'm thinking, I'm like, why didn't they just fucking move out of the desert? But no, it's like maybe a shit way of thinking. That's our white male privilege talking right now. But no, I'm just trying to think. Like, I wonder how many people who are starving, legitimately starving, right? That, we're trying to donate $1 a day would legitimately not be starving if we just gave like subsidies to companies that instead of throwing away that pizza, we fucking freeze it or something and send it over to another country to feed these people.
I don't know. America's different. You go to a steakhouse and you get a 32-ounce piece of meat with all those sides, and I don't think you could go into another country and that's like a normal
an option.
Yeah.
Well, even when, I feel like I've seen a bunch of videos online where it's American smalls and other countries' smalls, and it's such a fucking drastic difference.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
But what's just baffling to me is I totally, I'm all about like regulation stuff, but it's like at some point it's like just tell people they can't fucking like, I don't know. You can't tell an American or any person that's like, you can't tell me how fucking big a large fry is.
Yeah.
I decide how big a large
Capitalism,
fry is.
baby.
Exactly.
If somebody is going to buy it, we're going to keep making it bigger.
But what's crazy is that an American thing
Went
where
full
we
mush
just
mouth
we
right there.
want? What'd you say?
I went full mush mouth right there. I barely got it out.
That's the drinks. Is that an American thing where it's like I want everything, or is it? Okay, is it an American freedom thing, or are Americans just so fucking stupid that these companies and corporations are just taking advantage of us?
What'd you say first?
So, like, is it just an American freedom thing where it's just like, I want the biggest thing for the lowest amount of price, like capitalism? Or is it like these companies that are taking advantage of like just dumb fucking Americans that are like, we're going to give them the most amount of just grease and addictiveness to then make them keep coming back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think.
Whereas other countries are like, no, like we're good for whatever this size is.
What you just said is the circle that is America. Like, they go all day. It's like, we want the biggest and the best stuff, so we're going to give money to the corporations. We're like, oh, you guys want this? We'll just fucking give it back to you.
Yeah. But is that so much different? I get that America is like the king of fucking capitalism, and I'm all for it, right? Like,
yeah.
There are things that you can't get anywhere else that you can get in America.
Yeah.
But is that like, is it just other countries that are like, no, we're not gonna fucking do this?
I don't know, because there's something deeply rooted. America is like, I don't know any statistics, so I can't give you any.
No,
we're fat people.
Oh,
So
fat.
if we're talking about throwing away food, we keep ordering bigger and bigger and bigger, and we don't even eat it all because it's so big.
Dude, how many times have you been to a restaurant? Maybe this is just me. Been to a restaurant, took stuff home, and then just never ate it again? Talk about throwing stuff away. I've done that like a bunch of times, like so many fucking times.
Almost never.
Really?
I'm the king of leftovers.
Really?
Yeah. I don't.
Sometimes I'll although that's changed since I got an air fryer. Fucking love my air fryer. But there were times where I would take things home and I'm like, there's no plausible way to fucking warm this up. So I just throw it away.
Yeah. The only thing I don't do is like French fries.
Ooh, air fryer. Get a fucking air fryer. Change your life.
I have one. I tried to make sweet potato fries out of once, and they turned out like shit. Went back to baking. Put the thing back in the box.
You're a one and done guy.
I got pissed. I was like, these taste like ass. Fucking do it myself.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'll eat everybody's leftovers because I know people don't like to eat the same thing again, which is kind of another thing of America's problem.
See, it's not even that. It's just I feel like it's just never tastes as good. And that's a bad thing. It should just be like food. I should eat it, right?
Well, to me, it tastes good. I had a friend who used to live in the same complex that I had, and they were like engaged at the time. So his wife, who I'm also friends with, or now wife, she would make like home cooked meals like every night because they want to eat like good. And my good friend, refused to eat leftovers. So I would come over and I would get all of this fucking banging food that they didn't want anymore and just take it home, and I would eat that for the next 2 days.
I would never refuse to. I also feel like sometimes I would just forget that it's in my refrigerator.
I don't. I make a plan to eat it. Like if I got a little bit of something, I go, I could throw this together with some of this. That's breakfast.
See, you're over here forward thinking. I am literally the gluttonous shitty American, and you're like this fucking Norwegian.
Well, no, because I will order the biggest shit, and then I'll try to eat it all. So I am the glutton too. But I don't really like throwing stuff away.
Oh man.
That being said, I also don't pick off other people's plates.
Oh, who fucking
Like
does
I'm
that?
not taking.
Is that a
like
thing?
if we're at a restaurant, I'm not taking your leftovers.
Is that a thing? No, that's not a thing unless you're dating. Unless you're putting your penis in their vagina or you're having intercourse with them, I feel like that's not a thing. Like I wouldn't just eat off a stranger's fucking or like a
Well,
friend.
not a stranger.
No,
You would
but
ask, but not.
I'm not gonna eat off your fucking plate. I don't know. I feel like it's a polite, like a manners thing. No.
If you're done and I'm done, and you're like, I'm not taking this home, I'd probably pick off that, but like not the warm good food. Like it's after you've eaten already. Just because I don't like the waste.
You get the scraps.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take it.
No, even then, I still probably wouldn't. I don't even think it's like a germs thing because I really don't fucking care. It's just like that's your food. I'm gonna enjoy my food. I ordered it. Although I have the absolute worst. Like I just regret everything. I'll order something and 2 seconds after I ordered it, I'm like, why did I fucking order that food? Like it was, there's too many options on menus. It's like sometimes I'm like, I want 3 options. I want 3 options.
Do you
even
order
then.
the 3, or do you get the wrong one? Is that
No,
what you're
I
trying
always
to
get
say?
the wrong one. Like, I'll debate between 3 things, for example, just on a fucking 60 item menu. And I'll order something and I'll feel super confident about it. And the second the waitress walks away, I'm like, why the fuck did I order that? This sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Every single time. And then for the rest of the meal, I'm fucking miserable because I order the wrong thing. Every time.
I do that, but I can also bounce back. I was like, you know what? This is good. I'll get that next time. I have a friend. Well, we have a friend, Timmy Twofoot. This dude will go to any
He
restaurant.
orders everything.
He orders every. He's like,
Where did we go? We went to dinner the other day, and he got pasta with a side of French fries and something else. And I was
yeah,
like,
what? It was another meal.
Yeah.
Like it was 2 full course meals with like all this shit. And he was like, he just turned to him. You're like, you're not gonna eat all this. Like, what are you doing?
he never
He's like,
does.
yeah, I know. I just wanted a little bit of everything. It's like, well, there it goes, all the waste. Like that's what we're talking about.
That's literally what
Fucking come back tomorrow.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know. What also I think is funny is maybe not so much those commercials with Sarah McLachlan, but I always feel like you have these countries where they're not doing the hottest, right? They're not necessarily underdeveloped, but whatever. But the weather is great, right? The beaches are great, so
Yes.
you have these like all inclusive resorts. So you're like flying in, taking a bus. With like the windows blocked out so you don't see any of the fucking poor people into this all-inclusive resort, and then the second you leave there's like kids fucking begging on the streets with no clothes on. It's like, what a crazy just juxtaposition. We're just like, yeah, this is normal, like this is fine, doesn't affect me. So
Yeah, we're in our own little bubble. I paid to be in this nice spot.
oh my god.
Why don't you guys do the same?
Why don't you pull yourself up by the bootstraps?
Yeah. No, you're right. That's an American thing to do right there.
What, pulling people up, or to go to another person's
to-
country where they're doing shitty and enjoy all the good things?
Yeah, exactly that. Like the Dominican Republic. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's like a prosperous country, but all the resorts there are magnificent. We'll go down to this spot and we won't leave it. Fuck all y'all out there.
That's really, I mean, you could literally take you can rent golf carts, I know, and like leave the resort. And the people always warn you. They say, listen, you can leave the resort. We just don't recommend it. And you literally drive down a dirt road and there's people fucking carrying baskets and like kids literally playing in dirt. Like it's like a bad movie, like short, where it's just like kids, like I feel like whenever there's a movie with like a poor country, there's always kids playing in dirt, always. And you never think that kids actually just like play in dirt.
How
They
come there's not
fucking-
grass everywhere now that we're thinking about it?
What do you mean? There's
Where
not
they're
grass
playing in
everywhere.
dirt. Why isn't there grass? Because you're right.
I don't
But there's
know.
never seems to be any grass.
I don't know. The country's so poor that they can't get grass.
But you just grow it. Like it's there. It's been there for centuries.
Not if there's not if. What would cause grass not to grow?
That's my question.
I have no
That's
idea.
just a tangent. Now I'm really curious to why I know.
Why these kids aren't playing in like a fucking picnic area with
Yeah.
just like a grass and a blanket.
Yeah.
Well, they can't afford a blanket, so there's that. I don't know. Now I'm trying to think of why. Do you think just because there's just so much fucking activity on it that they
Maybe they've
There's no
turned it into
grass.
the road, kind of, unless we're not seeing the grass.
to be honest, I couldn't tell you the last time I went anywhere else to solve this. I'm just talking out of my ass right now. So
Well, I
have
went
no
to
idea.
Aruba one time, and you want to talk about that? Like, there's a section, like, their whole economy is based on tourism. So you go there, and you have these resorts, and you have the Americanized restaurants. Like, what's the frog one?
The frog one,
Yeah, it's famous.
famous frog.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, everything's there. And I went with my dad and my sister, and we rented a car, and we drove around the island. And, on the other side of the island, all these people that work for all these tourist activities, like, live in poverty, like, just
Oh.
right over there. Like, they're carrying those bamboo things with their hands up like this, and they got water and buckets.
Yeah.
They're just fucking walking down the road, and we're like, ha, look how cool this is. You don't see this every day.
Yeah. But you would imagine how shitty that must feel as like a person where you live in like shit, like squalor, and then you drive to work to literally just like kiss fucking people's ass all day
For tips.
and then to go back. Like that's
Yeah.
gotta feel shitty.
And we were driving in, like, real neighborhoods. I mean, like, houses that, like, look like they were bombed. Like,
They probably were by America.
I
just
don't
kidding.
think so.
Just kidding.
But
just because we bomb everyone.
it's like, that was strange, and it was eye opening because, like, you land and you're like, this place is popping, but, like, the island is so small that you could literally drive. We drove around the whole thing in one day, like, in hours, and we went through an actual village, like, neighborhood, and you're just like, this is sketchy. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Tell you what though, I love going on vacation.
Oh,
So many,
hell yeah.
so many fucking beautiful people on vacation.
Are you going on one this year?
Uh,
Anything planned?
Not really. I was thinking about going on doing like a road trip in like a month or so, but those plans are still in the works. But that's the plan. We're gonna do a road trip down the East Coast, I think. But I just I love going to beaches. I love going to like touristy cities, touristy towns.
Do you love that?
Oh, I fucking love it. I love it. I love
Like
seeing
where?
other people. Like I went to Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, places like that. I know it's like whatever, but I enjoy being on vacation with other people who are also on vacation.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a little bit of like a connection. Like I feel like we're closer than we might not have been. No?
So, what's really interesting, and it doesn't sound authentic when I say it, but we didn't plan any of this conversation.
Yeah.
Me and you are different on almost every topic that
Yeah.
we've talked about because I hate going to the touristy places.
Really? Why? I wanna hear
Because
why.
my dad used to drive bus back in the day, so he was like, he would take people to the tourist people, like
take people to the tourist people.
to the, well, yeah,
Go ahead, continue. I know what you mean.
like he used to drive like some kind of like tour bus, like all the way down the East Coast, right?
Okay.
And he had a big stop in New York City where he would take like groups, hundreds of people, like to Chinatown, like real Chinese people.
Okay.
And he's with these people all the time, and he was like, I don't want to go to get General Tso's. Like, take me to the authentic
Yeah.
Chinese food. So my dad would eat amongst them, and like from that, like he everywhere he went, it was like, I want the local, the native stuff. Like, I want to do what you guys do. I don't want this other shit. So that passed down to me.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and I enjoy doing that. But there's something about, and maybe this is just me, whatever. But there's something about going on a trip to a place that other people also go and sharing that. I get what you're saying, because it's a different viewpoint, right? You're saying you like going to a new place and experiencing that place with
The
the
real
locals,
culture.
the locals, whatever, right? I like going with people who are also doing something to get a shared experience. Like, I think that's fucking dope.
I could care about. I want the shared experiences with the people that I went with. Could
Yeah.
give a fuck about the rest of the people. Like, it's Senor Frogs. That's what I'm talking about.
Senor Frog.
That's like a chain restaurant that was like, it's everywhere, and it was in Aruba.
Yeah.
Like some American
go there?
thing. No.
Okay.
Okay, here's an example.
Yep.
We checked into the hotel, and my dad is trying to talk to this. I was gonna say Arabian, but he's like Arubian. I don't know if they have a real thing. Arubian.
Yes.
And he's like, listen, we want somewhere real, like that you guys go to eat, not none of this bullshit. And this dude like wouldn't tell us. So we were driving around, and we ended up at like this restaurant that was just on the side of the road. Ended up getting iguana soup. Like it was on a hidden menu that we had to ask for because we wanted the real stuff.
See,
Like we had found somebody on the street that said, "Yeah, go to this space," and you know they don't want to sell it to you because this is like the good stuff.
I'll tell you what. If I was in a place and someone said, "Do you want iguana soup?" I'd say, "Sure." I'm not gonna go search out a place that's gonna have fucking crazy things like iguana soup.
We didn't search out for it. We were trying to find people on the side of the street, like real people, like doing
Yeah.
their real jobs, like give us somewhere good to go. And one guy was like, "Yeah, there's a restaurant down here. You can get this, this, and this." My dad is like, "What can we get?" You know, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And he mentioned iguana soup, and was like, my dad was like, his eyes lit up.
His
He's like,
fucking ears perked up.
like Americans aren't supposed to have this. We got to find it. So we went and we did, and we haggled with the people, and we had it.
How was it? 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10, no, but it was good.
Give me a rating. What was it?
I don't know. High sevens.
High 7s for iguana soup?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's next on my list.
It's
then.
like turtle soup. You can't have too much turtle
I've
because
never
there's
had-
not much
I've
of it.
never had turtle soup either.
Okay.
We're gonna save. You have a turtle story, and I know I have a turtle story about you that I've heard, and we're gonna save that for the next podcast.
Okay.
'Cause I just don't want to throw that in there at the end of it because I want to save some of that. So tune in next week to hear about Tyler's turtle soup story.
If you want it, I'll deliver.
Oh, it's you, but that's you enjoy the crazy foods. I enjoy the crazy foods too. You're just on a whole different level, an entirely different level.
Because of my dad and
Yeah.
searching out like authentic, like different cultured stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things is going down to Chinatown, like on Elizabeth Street. There's a dim sum restaurant. Everybody thinks dim sum is like dumplings and all this different stuff. This place is the biggest dim sum place in the country, and you can get like chicken's
In
feet.
Buffalo?
No, in the country. It's in New York City.
Oh, okay, that's
on
what-
Elizabeth Street. And like my favorite thing to eat is like chicken's feet and duck. Like
I like duck. Duck, I really enjoy duck.
yes.
Duck's very good. Chicken's feet, I think I'll take a pass.
Well, you say that until you have it, and
I
it's,
have.
it's in
I
this
wasn't a
black
fan.
bean soy sauce. It's so good. I mean, you have to pick through all the bones, but this is what the real Asians eat, and it is damn good. Me and my dad will just go. We'll have fucking 3 dishes each.
3 dishes of chicken feet?
Yeah.
Ooh, see, you lost me with the chicken feet. And you're right. This is really strange though, because I think we're very good friends, but it's true that we differ on a lot of fucking things.
Yes, we do.
Like, what was the thing that you told me not too long ago? Oh, you said when you're looking at famous people, there's no such thing as like a 10 out of 10, like an attractiveness.
Well, not famous people, anybody.
See, but that's where I think that's crazy. There's 100% 10 out of 10. Like when let's just say there's a celebrity, right? That everyone just agrees is like a beautiful.
Does it have to be a celebrity? Because you keep saying celebrity.
I'm using celebrities. Fine. I just use celebrities because people know them. So I'm
Okay.
using that as a reference, right? So like I think someone like Vanessa Hudgens, has a place in my heart. 10 out of 10, right? There's just a level of fucking beauty. Then you got someone like, who else? Scarlett Johansson. I think also 10 out of 10. Fucking perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful woman. I just think there's just a level of just beauty. And you're saying that doesn't exist.
I believe.
You're saying that.
I believe that 10 out of 10 is unobtainable. Because 10 out of 10 is perfect.
Perfect.
There is nothing that you could do to this human being that could make them better. And
Yeah,
I believe that there
because
always is.
No, but I just feel like there's just a level of just attractiveness and beauty where you're just like, they're fucking beautiful to look at. If I woke up next to that person every day for the rest of my life, I'd be so happy. Those people exist. And to me, those are 10 out of 10s. And you're saying that no matter who you see or are with, there's always going to be someone else that you're like, no, that person's more attractive than this other person.
100%.
That's how you literally grow up to be alone and fucking sad.
No.
No? You don't think so? No?
You know, nobody is going to, unless you're fucking Jason Momoa or something, that can, keep climbing the ladder to find them, that's not realistic. What I'm saying is that 10 out of 10 is 100%. It is perfect. It is the pinnacle of everything, right? If you're going to draw a circle and you have one of those devices that does it for you,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about? Protract? I
yeah.
don't know if a protractor is the
Yeah,
same thing.
I think protractors do it.
It is a perfect circle. You can't draw a more symmetrical circle. It's a 10 out of 10 circle.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Continue your thought. I have something to add to that.
If I were to draw it, obviously not a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
10 out of 10. I mean, Vanessa Hudgens, I love Vanessa Hudgens. She's
10 out of
gorgeous. But and then you look at Selma Hayek.
10 out of 10.
If I have to pick, then I have to, it's narrow. I
10
like
out of
Selma
10 out-
over.
No, 10 out of 10.
But then I can find somebody else, and it depends on the day, and it's so objective
No,
that you
10
can
out of
never
10.
have a 10 out of 10.
So you're using the protractor concept, right?
Yep.
But you are not making a clone, right? So the people out there just exist. So what I'm saying is they are the closest thing to a perfect circle, or what you view as a perfect circle, that just exists. Like, you can't just go out and say, you're not making these people, you're not cloning them, right? So I just feel like there's just a level of perfectness or attractiveness. You're like, they're great. They're Selma Hayek, V. Hudgens. Literally, I can think of so many people, just people I see on a daily basis. I'm like 10 out of 10. And I feel like your thought process, like I'm trying to get a grasp of what you're thinking, and I get it. But I'm like,
Well,
let's
it's a
say,
scale,
let's
right?
just say you are in a relationship.
Yep.
Are you gonna think that person is a 10 out of 10?
No, because a 10 out of 10 it's unobtainable.
But so let's just say, I'm just using this as forewarning. Let's say you're in a relationship tomorrow, and this person listens to this podcast later on and says, "So what am I? What's my rating?"
First of all, I think rating is stupid.
But you brought this up not too long ago. We're talking about this rating right now because this is our conversation.
I believe more in tiers.
Tiers. How is it any different than?
Because a 10 out of 10 it's a scale. The tiers can vary, and you can fit so
There's
many
an
different things in tiers.
But at some point, somebody's at the top of the tier.
No, I don't think so. I think a tier is a group. Like there's tier 1 has
Right.
Margot Robbie and Vanessa Hudgens.
Right.
And
So they're all 10 out of 10s. They're the top tier.
if that's what you want to call it,
That's
they're
what
not 10 out of 10s. Because they're not perfect. Which is perfect is unobtainable because
Sure, no
everybody
one's
is
perfect. We're gonna get that, but
because it's symmetrical. There's science to it. Or their butt could be a little bigger.
okay.
His arms could be a little bit bigger. He could have 2 more abs.
Listen, I'm just talking as a person looking at another person, saying, like, all I'm saying, and I just mean this like in a relationship too. The goal is to find someone that when you look at them, you're like, I'm okay waking up next to this person for the rest of my life. And that to me is a 10 out of 10, right? And I think there's just so many people that's a 10 out of 10.
Well, we just vary in what the definition of 10 out of 10 is.
Right, but what I think you're saying is the same thing. When you're saying there's multiple people in different tiers,
Yes.
but there's such a thing as a top tier, right?
Yeah, like tier 1
Tier 1.
could have my girlfriend is the same tier as JoJo.
What about Ellen? I think Ellen's 10 out of 10. Give me some
No.
Ellen. You don't like Ellen?
Not really.
Why not?
Isn't she a big bitch now?
Yeah, she is. I think that's why I like her more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This was a weird conversation to get into. But you told me that, and I was like, I just feel like there's just a level of a person, attractiveness, that you're just like, I'm fine. That's great. I'm all for that person.
And I don't want to sound like demeaning, but they could just be gorgeous, and I would be happy to wake up to them.
10 out of 10.
But
10 out of 10.
it's like if you're eating pizza, right?
Yeah.
You can always find a piece of pizza that's better than the one you just ate, or whatever food you want to have.
Sure, but there's a top tier. I guess maybe we're talking different thing. If there's a piece of pizza that if someone gave me a choice,
Then differentiate a 9.9 from a 10.
you can't. A 9.9 would be a 10 probably.
But you
for me.
can't because it's 9.9.
But I
would
wouldn't call it a
10
9.
out of
I
10.
wouldn't call it a 9.9. I feel like this is where we're getting different. I feel like I think it goes from like a 10 to like a 6 or a 7 to like a 4. Like it's big groups. Like I'm not going in macro in adjusting or macro judging these things or people.
To sum up my stance,
Yeah.
I just think that it's so objective like your 10 out of 10 it could not be the same as mine because it's so objective. So how do you have something that is so objective, but they're both
Right.
it's one could be a 10, one could be a 5.
Right. But what I'm saying is I feel like,
I think 10 out of 10 has to be agreed upon that it's perfect.
listen, we could have an entire podcast based off this because I feel like I can go all day. But I feel like you could have two people, right, who you might view as an 8-8 or a 9-1, right? Let's just throw those random arbitrary numbers out there, okay?
No.
Why?
Okay. You love Nicolas Cage. I love Jaden Smith. Okay? Clearly not both 10 out of 10s based on because we hate one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they both can't be 10 out of 10s because a 10 out of 10 is perfect. So how can two separate things from two?
But what I'm saying is there's no such thing as perfect. There's just a level of you're super happy with that person every day, or you would be happy with that. Like if someone gave you a choice between this person and that person, you'd be okay with it because they're both fucking great.
Okay.
That's a 10 out of 10.
I would just classify that as tears.
Okay. This last argument tonight, or this conversation
Because
did not go.
tears offers, it includes the flaws or whatever,
Right.
but a 10 out of 10 doesn't because it's perfect.
Okay, now I feel like we're just getting semantics here.
Well, you brought this on.
Well, you brought this on first when we
I think I
talked
just
about this.
asked if somebody was, or you brought up somebody and I said, is she a 10 out of 10?
And I think I said, yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
No. Who was it?
I don't remember. I want to say it was Vanessa Hudgens.
Because she's 10 out of 10.
I want to say it was when she was like twerking or something on TikTok.
She does that a lot, I think.
I'm going to have to get TikTok then.
You don't have TikTok?
No.
So, like, here, hold on. Let me look up. Just really quick. It's like I just looking up random people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just literally typed up like celebrities, right? Because most of them are fucking attractive. I get just throwing this out there, everyone. I know that that's just not who like you should aspire to be. Is just like celebrities. I'm just using it as a fucking example. Beyonce. 10 out of 10. If I woke up with Beyonce, I'd be fucking stoked. Jennifer Lawrence is on here next, and I heard her talk like the other day in a fucking interview, and I was like, she's not.
See, I like Jennifer Lawrence more than I like Beyonce.
Really?
Yeah.
Nope. Jennifer Aniston.
Love Jennifer.
10 out of 10. Jennifer Lopez. 10 out of 10. Taylor Swift. 10 out of 10.
But you don't prefer one over the other?
It's not necessarily that I don't prefer. I'm just saying that they're all fucking just like a level of beauty, a level of just like.
But a 10 out of 10 is the pinnacle.
But to me, I just feel like there's no such thing as just like the pinnacle. Like I'm never gonna look at someone and say.
But you can because it's an actual numeric value. It is a 10 out of 10. Is it 100? It is flawless. You assigned it that by the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and I'm willing to say that. Yep, I'm. It's
where
just
mine
a level.
is like tiers, where it's like 9 to 10. That's tier 1.
Right, but I just feel like if I was to do that, that puts a weird expectation on just like people that doesn't exist. Like there's no such thing. Oh, this is so hard. If I feel like if I was to say that person's like a 7 whatever or an 8 whatever, you're never gonna get to that perfect thing. 'Cause that perfect thing doesn't fucking exist. I just think there's a top level of just people, and I'm like that person is fucking.
I get what you're saying.
Do you get where I'm going?
And
with
I
that?
like it. I just don't agree with it. Like I'll take that, and I'll use it.
Oh my god. All right, anyone that's listening right now, I want you guys to leave a comment on our Instagram, on our YouTube channel. If you guys are understanding where I'm fucking coming from, or if you are understanding where Tyler's coming from, and who you agree with more, and why. Because actually, a lot of people did that last time. We asked them to make comments on Instagram or on YouTube, and they did it, and that was fucking cool. I wasn't expecting people to make comments.
Very dope. I'll have to go look at them.
You didn't see it?
No, I think you texted me it, or somebody told me, but I never went back to check.
No.
which is very cool. Anyways,
Yeah,
do it again. I'll check them all. I'll fucking reply.
Oh man, Tyler, is there anything you want to say to the world before we hop off and end this podcast?
Yes, I love all people, and if I have discriminated against anybody by this unofficial ranking system, I apologize
agree with
because
that,
I
too.
love all people.
I love all people too. That's why I said they were all 10 out of 10s.
Okay. Well, they're just not.
Okay. Well, agree to disagree here. Anything else, buddy?
Not off the top of my
Not off the top
noggin,
of my
no.
head. All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, our podcast is anywhere that podcasts are available now. And thank you so much for listening to us talk shit for an hour and a half. Bye.